Hi, I'm Melissa Etheridge, and this is A-Sides.
This sound, I want it to surround me. Play it loud, play it loud, play it loudly. A-sides, around, around, around we go. A-sides, let's play our life and here we go.
Hi,
Hi.
such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome to Tarrytown, but you've been here before, right?
I think so, but this I don't remember if I have.
No?
But I think I remember the name.
You haven't been in this room, maybe.
No, I don't. I definitely have not been.
How's the tour going so far?
It's going great. This is kind of it's been ongoing. This is kind of the most I've toured this whole last year, from summer into fall into winter. I've went over to Europe and I've been
Yeah.
in Canada, and now I'm back here in America.
I was gonna say, and you've just toured straight through the album release, right?
Yeah. We're just. It's just kind of because it's different now than it used to be with record companies and record labels. You're ready to put the record out, and then you went on tour. Now the record is part of it, but it's not the only thing.
Right.
So it's about touring. It's about reaching different places, different countries, and coming back around and just presenting new things.
We were just off camera talking about your older stuff. And the new record, to me at least, kind of has like an older feel. Would you
Isn't
agree?
that funny?
Yeah.
By thinking that I was going so far out away from what I do, working with John Levine or Jerry Wanda and Rockstar and all these things, I actually got closer to what I used to be by going out there. It was beautiful collaborating with these people because they brought out in me some of the best stuff that if it was just me, I might say no, that's old or something. But it really does. It's kind of a full circle.
It's amazing to me. Like, it could have been released right after, one of
Yes,
the
I
other ones.
am.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to that era a little bit, because I was talking to you. I was like a mosh pitter, and listen to Green Day, dyed my hair green. Mosh pitter. That's how old I am. I say mosh pitter. It's not even a word. And somehow you broke right through alt rock, like just like that, and not just come to my window and I can go on and on. But they went back and did Like I Do, which was from what, 1989,
Yeah.
and that was huge. So I mean, what was that like, especially in this era of non-rock, at least on mainstream radio, going through that time?
Yeah, it was when I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I grew up with radio stations that played everything. At one radio station that played everything, when I was little in the 60s, played soul and country and rock and everything right next to each other. So I didn't have this separation. So when I learned to play acoustic guitar and electric, and I was like, yeah, it's rock and roll. It all was rock and roll to me. So when I got out to LA in 1982, that's when the big hair bands started. The 80s, the Poison, Rat, Guns and people, and that. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't fit in at all. Then there was the British invasion, the Boy George and Eurythmics and all that. And it was all the that 80s sound. I'm like, that's not me either. Uh-oh. And I just kept making the music that I loved. And when it took 5 years for record companies to sign me. I mean, everybody turned me down. Everybody. And it was finally Chris Blackwell of Island Records who had a knack for seeing where music was headed. He signed Bob Marley. He brought reggae to the world.
Wow.
He signed U2. He started that whole thing in the 80s. So he saw me and went, oh yeah. He actually said, I think the future of rock and roll has a female face. I said, oh, this is the guy who gets it. And he always stuck with me. It wasn't until my 4th album that I hit really big. And then that's when they went back to the first album. And in that time, it was grunge was blossoming, and a lot of female artists were coming out all kinds.
Oh, for sure.
And there was a real renaissance of real, heartfelt, soulful music. And I think we're about ready for that again.
I feel like we're kind of slowly.
I think the younger generation is ready for that. The ones who are in their 20s.
Because I was just talking to Chester of Stone Temple Pilots, who took over for Scott Weiland, about how the rock is out there. It's just you have to look for it.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, like, it was just there, I feel like maybe we're kind of getting there.
Yeah,
again.
it's
'Cause
funny.
it's so much more. I love Dave Grohl, but it's so much more than just listening to Foo Fighters or rock and roll.
Yeah, because
you know?
that's it. There they are.
Yeah,
That's the rock and roll.
that's it. Rock.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, no, there's going to be, like I said, that younger generation that is going back and listening to things and finding and discovering artists. I know my kids are. They're 18 and 16, and there'll be new ways of doing it. You know, mainstream radio has marketed itself down to a very small little niche, and they serve that, and that's fine. But it leaves a whole lot of space for, you know, rock and roll to come back. you know.
So, jumping back to the tour, I know you have a tour DVD out, and why now? Why was this the time to release it? I know you have Delta Ray on there, and I love them.
Oh,
I mean, they were
that was so
ridiculous.
much fun.
But why now? I mean, it's awesome. I love that you did Ruins on there,
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way, which is my favorite song.
Oh.
Are you?
No, I'm not. I wish I was. I was like, oh, no.
All right, just sing. I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna forget this. I'll sing. Should I sing?
How do I start? I'm trying to come. Okay, so now I forgot your question.
What was my question? Oh,
See?
why do a DVD now? You know, for
Oh.
your concert. I mean, aside
Right.
from the fact that you know it's incorporating the newer stuff and,
Yeah.
and with the older stuff, but
Yeah.
why not?
Why now? Good question. I hadn't done it in a long time. This band that I had, I don't have them. I'm solo right now tonight, but the band that I just went out with is one of the most amazing. Jerry Wanda from the Fugees and his studio musicians. I said, you guys have to come out on the road with me. They're like, okay. And so I've got Blair Senta, who has been my drummer for about 5 years, and such a fun mix of people. And it was a very special tour. I had background singers. It was the last show. So we were very, you know, we knew the work, we knew it. It was at home in LA. It was just a really nice show to document. It just worked.
At this point in your career, and God knows how many more albums you're going to put out, how difficult is Setlist? Because I would think that's such a bitch. Like, I mean, what to include? Because you're going to piss off everybody no matter what you do. But
Well, I try to land
find the
somewhere
nice
in the middle.
balance?
Yeah, because I loved doing Come to My Window. I love doing the hits because everybody loves them. Yeah, you know, who doesn't want to hear happy people? So I've got, you know, those that takes up 5 or 6 slots. Then I want to present new material that takes up 4 slots, and then, you know, I try to keep my shows around 2 hours so that, you know, the babysitter's not too expensive and stuff. So then I put in about 4 other album tracks, you know, just songs from like the first album, second, anywhere, any album. I'll pick something that I know that people
little similar
want.
features.
Yeah,
or
like
something
tonight I'm
that.
doing You Can Sleep While I Drive, and
Let's do like a Weird Al Yankovic polka, like quick run through everything that you got. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it is difficult though because
I think it's crazy.
I could do a 4-hour show easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
and you probably love it.
I have done 4-hour shows,
Jeez.
but yeah, it's a little long.
Sorry,
it's a little lot
Karen,
to ask. Yeah, well, it's a lot to ask of my audience.
So let me just ask you one last question. So I asked this of everyone lately. So I have a 3-year-old at home, and I have a now 7-month-old. What words of wisdom would you offer, especially you? I mean, you've been through so much shit, and you've like risen above just about everything. And you're inspiring, and you're awesome. What kind of words of wisdom? She paid me. No, I'm kidding. What kind of words of wisdom would you offer, especially the 7-month-old? Because God knows what he's going to be watching this on.
7-month-old, yeah.
You know.
Oh, I know. He'll be downloading into his
Right.
brain. I would say that life is about creating, and life is about finding joy. There's always going to be contrast. There's always going to be the up and the down. That's the nature of life. But understand that it is what you make it, and what you put out comes back to you. So do what you love what you do, and know that this is your life and you're the one in charge of it. That's what I'd say.
Awesome. So inspirational. Seriously.